Peter, before we start to look at the Leeds' start to the season, the transfer deadline day, it went without much activity, any activity at Leeds United. What do you think Brian McDermott will be disappointed not to get somebody in?
I think he'll be disappointed not to get somebody in, but I've always thought the route we may go down might be the emergency loan deals. One, you get better players who have been hoping they could maybe stay in the Premiership or whatever, or get a Premier club. But now they realise they're not. They want to play football, so they're more willing to come out and play, and clubs are more willing to let them go. So I've always thought that we could be looking, in the next fortnight to pick up one or two players.
I guess one of the problems has been he's been after a winger, the manager, but wingers cost an awful lot of money, don't they?
Yeah, they're a rarity these days. We've never replaced Robert Snodgrass, let's be fair, but he is an exceptional player, I think, especially at the level he was playing at. We do need somebody. I mean, the effort's there. He's got them playing as good a football as everybody wants to see, but at the end of the day you just wonder where the end product is going to come from, because we're not getting round the flanks and we're not getting crosses in. Most of the balls that are getting hit to the strikers are coming from the deep, and they're cannon fodder for defenders.
I would say the loan market has been more missed than hit for Leeds United though in recent years, so even with the loan window reopening, Peter, you've got to be very careful about who you bring in, don't you?
Yeah, I think Brian has his mind set on what kind of player he wants to bring in. I don't think there's any question we need a wide player, that somebody can get round and create some difference, because we do get a lot of football and we do get a lot of ball, and we play a lot of balls out wide. No disrespect to our two fullbacks, they're not. They are fullbacks and they get forward so far and they'll put balls in, but they can't get round the back of players. We're missing Sam as well, obviously. He can do that from the fullback position.
Yeah, in the transfer market, 4 players have joined the club. 3 of them, young and promising players, and obviously he's also kept Ross McCormack and Sam Byram, who you mentioned there. So overall, do you think he'll be quite satisfied with the business he has managed to do? Well,
I think there was a big worry. Obviously Sam's injury has stopped any possible movement for him. But I think with Ross, I thought there was a real possibility that we could lose him. I was really worried. I've got to see up till Sunday evening when it was all over and I heard he'd signed a 4-year contract. I was absolutely delighted, because I've thought all along he is. Middlesbrough kept coming back in for him, and I thought maybe they will let him go. But because in fairness, speaking to a lot of fans were saying, well, if you do get £2 or £3 million, you can buy 2 or 3 good players at this level with that kind of money. So, there could have been some sense behind it, but certainly when you start losing players of Ross's quality, then I think you're on a bit of a downhill slide.
Yeah, it's as much a statement of the club's intent at the moment, isn't it, as above almost anything else keeping Ross.
That's right. I think the owners have done well so far. I think they've resisted the offers for players. They've tried to back Brian as much as they can, but we've had a period of 3 years changing managers. Each manager, Simon Grayson brought in 5 or 6 players, and then when Neil Warnock come in, he didn't want them, and he brought in 5 or 6 players, and now Brian's come in, he doesn't want some of them. Yeah. But what you're left was a big surplus of players, and all on good money, it's a very difficult situation, and the owners have taken over. So I think we've got to be patient with them and give them a chance.
Everybody wants to know about players coming in, but of course, as you talk about there, Peter, one of the problems at Leeds in recent years has been getting rid of players that the manager doesn't want, and that'll be a bit of an issue for him, because no one's really left the club this summer.
No, it is an issue for him, because the kind of players that we've brought into the club were gambles on 1 year we may get up, experienced players, but these guys were all on decent salaries. And the unfortunate thing, if they haven't made it at this level, when you step down a level, the kind of money they're earning is not available. So, you're stuck with the players, if you like, unless you want to let them go to other clubs and still pay a large percentage of your wages. So it's a very difficult situation that the new owners and Brian have inherited.
But do you think there's a sense of realism amongst the fans, and that probably stems from the manager at the moment, Peter, that you're not going to be able to do everything in sort of one transfer window. This might take 2 or 3 to get the squad that he actually wants.
Yeah, speaking to a lot of the supporters and reading the papers, you know, I think the fans do realise that, you know, this is not a quick fix job. You know, this is a rebuilding of the football club, hopefully. We've got some good young kids, sorry, and we've got you know, some players coming in. So Brian, you know, he wants to take his time and he wants to get it right, because realistically, if we went or we were to get up at this particular time, not that we don't want to get up, you know, there would be serious surgery needed to the team to bring it up to the standards required.